Chapter 2, February, 2nd verse. February 1st. If you want to write a song, ask a guitar, Neil Young. Legendary, I love this Mr. Young. Being a guitarist myself, I'm a bit biased. However, there's a lot of truth to it. The guitar is an instrument that not only has strings tuned in a certain way, many different ways if you wanted to, so the possibilities expand because of that, but you can play it several different ways: slap guitar, finger picking, tapping, regular strumming, in as many genres as you can think of. You can use it in a percussive rhythmic way as well. In short, it is quite versatile, which inevitably opens up more opportunities to be creative, broadening your horizons for writing songs. February 2nd, guitar playing isn't really for everybody. Brad Paisley. We agree to disagree here, Brad. I do believe that guitar playing is for everybody. Is it the easiest for everybody? No, but is really anything easy in life? It may come easier to some people and harder for others, but nothing is ever easy. If it was, it wouldn't be worth doing because it wouldn't be a challenge, and you wouldn't learn anything along the way. In short, it would be boring. This is what makes life exciting and worthwhile, the fact that we don't know everything. There is always something new to learn, something new to challenge us, something new to pursue. And taking a look at this from another perspective, anyone can realistically play the guitar. Even if it isn't in standard tuning, you don't have full mobility with your fingers, hands, or arms. You can always use your feet. I've seen it done before. You can play the guitar in open D or G tuning and strum lightly without putting your other hand on it to hold the strings down. You can use it as a percussion instrument by tapping it. The list goes on and on. So let's not stifle anyone's creativity or passion by stopping them before they even have a chance to start. Guitar playing is for everybody. You just have to find a way to make it your own. February 3rd. For me, I think the only danger is being too much in love with guitar playing. The music is the most important thing, and the guitar is only the instrument. Jerry Garcia. Wise words, Jerry. Wise words indeed. We do have to be careful with how much time and energy we put into something. Why? Because as human beings, we only have so much time and energy at our disposal throughout life. Is it a good thing to be laser focused and to channel that energy towards something positive, constructive, meaningful, and hopeful? Yes, but just like anything in life, if we spend all our waking hours on something and it's the only thing we think about, it can become an obsession. And those are never good. It's healthy to think of and do different things, not letting our minds be taken over by a single thing nonstop. In my opinion, to live a well-rounded life, having unique experiences, developing and maintaining relationships, and learning new things is essential. I think this is what Jerry essentially meant through this quote. In addition to this, we do have to remember that one instrument is a part of the whole puzzle that makes up an orchestra, a song, a recording, etc. It usually isn't the end-all, be-all of a piece of music. In order to make a song, an orchestra, or recording the best it can be, we have to do what's best for each situation, leaning on other instruments and musicians playing those instruments to bring out the best of them and each other. February 4th. I'm definitely not a super great guitarist. Ultimately, I just want to write a lot of love songs. Vance Joy. Ain't nothing wrong with that, Vance. Writing love songs is a great way to express yourself and put positivity and goodness into the world. At least that's how I see it. And I don't think he's selling himself short by admitting he's not a super great guitarist. What he's doing is actually acknowledging the fact that ultimately guitar playing isn't his strongest suit. It's writing love songs. It may be a strong suit for him, but not his strongest. So why not focus on what your strongest suit is, honing that particular craft to become the best writer of love songs he can be. As a result, he might become a better guitar player in the process. It's a win-win all around. February 5th. My guitar is like my best friend. My guitar can get me through anything. If I can sit down and write an amazing song with my guitar about what's going on in life, then that's the greatest therapy for me. Miley Cyrus. It really is. You can call on it, pick it up, and play it anytime you want. Morning, noon, or night, it's there for you and can help you flesh out any ideas, feelings, emotions swirling around in your head. This is one of the reasons I enjoy songwriting, especially with my guitar as well. In this sense, the guitar and songwriting most certainly is a therapy for me, and the best part about it is that it won't judge you. The guitar and music, for that matter, is there on an unconditional basis, letting you vent and express yourself all the same with no judgment. That's the best kind of friend, and one that can be with you your entire life until your last breath. February 6th. I picked up a guitar and I knew what I wanted to do. Stone Gossard. We would all be so lucky to have this kind of confidence and assurance in something, to just know deep down inside immediately after trying something for the first time that you love and enjoy it so much is rare. As rare as it is possible, which means something is out there for us if we haven't already discovered it. The fact that Stone knew with such conviction that guitar was what he wanted to do is a testament to the power and pure beauty that music is. Let's get out there today and fall in love with something or someone so deep that you just know it or he or she is for you right out of the gate. This is the good stuff of life. February 7th. A guitar is just theoretically built wrong. Each string is an inherent interval of fourths, and the B string is off. Theoretically, that's not right. All the strings should be off. Eddie Van Halen. I've always thought about this as well, Eddie. It doesn't make sense when you think about it rationally. When you tune the guitar by ear, you place a finger on the top string on the 5th fret and play the string below it open. If they match, it's in tune. You then take this idea and apply it to every string from the 2nd to the 3rd and so on. However, the only string this doesn't apply to is going from the 4th to the 5th. In order To tune this one correctly, you play the 4th string, the G string, and the 5th fret on the 5th string, the B string, or on the 4th fret. Then it's back to the 5th string, 5th fret, and 6th string open to finish tuning it. With that, you would think it would throw the whole guitar out of whack, but alas, it doesn't. It's amazing that tuning the guitar in this way defies theory, yet sounds exactly the way it should in standard tuning. To me, it just goes to show you that not everything has to follow theory in order to sound good. This is exactly how I play guitar and music in general, in more of an improvisational, free, creative state, not following theory. As usual, the same idea can be translated into everyday life. Not everything has to be by the book, so to speak, in order for it to look good, sound good, taste good, feel good. Sometimes, dare I say, more often than not, we have to go off of intuition, trusting our creative impulse and instincts on what is best. This is opposed to remembering what book X or author X said or what Dr. Y prescribed. February 8th. As a guitarist, I'm usually able to play any sort of instrument as long as it has strings. Ramin Djawadi. I completely resonate with this, Ramin. Being a guitarist myself, I've been able to pick up other stringed instruments and just know what to do with them the first time playing. And he says he's usually able to play any sort of string instrument, not necessarily play it well. But generally, string instruments follow the same pattern of musical structures, which makes them more translatable with one another. A bass guitar is quite similar to an acoustic electric guitar in that it has frets, the same tuned strings. It played in standard tuning, but just 2 less strings. The strings are generally thicker on a bass and the frets are wider, making it easier to play than a guitar. Much of the same goes for violin, viola, and cello. All generally have 4 strings, are tuned in the same manner, and the strings are thinnest to thickest in the aforementioned order. Of course, these are played with a bow, but can be played by just plucking the strings with your fingers. In my opinion, they are harder to play than acoustic guitar or bass guitar. The only different ones in this case are the ukulele, mandolin, banjo, dulcimer, and harp. Although this ukulele has the same number of strings as a bass, violin, viola, and cello, it is not tuned the same at all. Banjos, mandolins, and dulcimers are tuned all wacky as well and have very thin strings on each. And the harp is just in a league of its own with a huge array of strings to play. There is something special about string instruments. The fact that you can press your fingers down on different spots and make a different sound in each spot is quite amazing. Let's get out there and play, play, play. February 9th. A guitar is more than just a sound box. It is a part of your soul. Manuel Velasquez. It most certainly is, Manuel. The reason why it is part of your soul is because of its inherent nature to express yourself through the art form that is music. There are many different ways to play the guitar, as we've discussed in this book, and others: standard picking, finger picking, slap guitar, finger tapping, not even including the fact that there are 12-stringed, 7-stringed, and other numbered combinations of strings on a guitar that exist. This gives way to other interesting scales, chord combinations, and textural layered sounds not possible on a standard 6-string guitar. You can play it soft, loud, fast, slow, and everything else in between. And the number of genres that exist to write in is quite a large number as well, over 1,200 according to Wikipedia. With all of this, there are a seemingly unlimited amount of possibilities on this wonderful instrument. It's up to you to discover how to best express yourself using it. Music is a part of you already, our heartbeat, so let's get out there and express your deepest self, your soul, through the guitar. February 10th. I don't read music, I don't write it, so I wander around on the guitar until something starts to present itself. James Taylor. What a neat way to think about it. Even though James Taylor has written several songs, he claims to not write it. I believe what he's getting at is the fact that all the various combinations of music have always existed somewhere in the airwaves, and he doesn't want to say he came up with it entirely by himself. I can totally understand that. As a singer-songwriter myself, there are times when an entire song comes in 5 minutes and I have no idea what I wrote or how I came up with what I came up with in this particular moment. The best way to describe it is that I see myself as more of an antenna or channel to receive whatever is being communicated to me from a higher power, God. Maybe James feels the same way. I feel like not knowing how to read or write music in the technical, theoretical sense lends itself to creating interesting and unique patterns, progressions, and melodies one might not think of to do if you knew the actual theory. It might take longer to get to the end result, let's say a finished song, but the process will be a lot more fun and most likely produce a more interesting blend of sounds. We all need more time to wander and not be so tied to the clock and commitments on the calendar. Besides, wandering around has given me some of my best ideas for songs, business, relationships, and life overall. Why not incorporate this into our daily routine? February 11th. I don't want you to play me a riff that's going to impress Joe Satriani. Give me a riff that makes a kid want to go out and buy a guitar and learn to play. Ozzy Osbourne. In other words, do something fun, creative, and exploratory with your guitar playing. We all have our own unique ways of doing things, so why not play something that inspires, motivates, and challenges you? Chances are that if you having those feelings or attributes while creating, then someone who is listening to what you're doing will have the same. It's by going outside of the box, thinking differently, and executing in a way that makes sense to you does the world not only create, but innovate and invent. This is how forward progress is made. And it doesn't just have to stop there. Go do the same with your life. Try that new diet or exercise regimen you've been putting off for a while. Start that business you've been thinking about for the last 2 years. Go on that vacation trip you said you would do when the time is right. Learn a new language just for the fun of it. You never know what joy and adventure it might bring into your life, and in turn inspire others at the same time. The best thing we can hope to do as a singer-songwriter musicians is to inspire the next generation. For me, one of my missions is to create an environment that is warm and welcoming, encouraging people to bring out the best in themselves. By doing this, you are fostering freedom through creativity. As a coach, father, mentor, and business owner, I want everyone I come in contact with and who is under my tutelage to feel like they can express themselves freely without being berated, undermined, condescended, or micromanaged. If I were to do those things, I feel like I would be promoting acting out of fear rather than promoting love through creativity. Will we be the best the world has ever seen? Maybe, maybe not. But I can guarantee that leading by example in a positive way will do so much more good for the person as well as the world at large than the opposite. February 12th. Guitar is the best form of self-expression I know. Everything else, and I'm just sort of tripping around trying to figure my way through life, Tripping around trying to figure your way through life. We're all there at one point, or many points for that matter, and this is okay. We're not supposed to have everything figured out. If we did, life wouldn't be exciting or an adventure or journey. It's a struggle that keeps us going. If the challenges that come our way that have us continuing down the road we're on, it's the unknown that keeps us wondering what is on the other side of this situation or that experience. To find something that resonates with us in such a way where we can not only express ourselves but inspire others in the process is special. We ought to not take this lightly, as it could be very well the thing we need. It could very well be the thing the world needs to become a better version of itself overall. Sometimes these things make themselves apparent early on in life. Sometimes they don't. It's our responsibility to pay attention to be aware, and then to act on what is compelling us to express ourselves through. It's called using our unique gifts and talents to better ourselves and the world around us. If we don't use our gifts, the world would be sorely missing out on whatever it is you have to give to it. February 13th. Experimenting with different sounds is great, but when it comes down to it, you're still playing the guitar. Scott Pitesky. This quote is an exercise in realizing something's true nature at the end of the day, as well as its actual necessity and application. It's also about doing something for the right reason. Is it fun to play or mess around on an instrument, using it as many ways as you can come up with on your end? Sure. Is it necessary? No. The real question is, why are you playing the instrument in all those other crazy ways other than traditional strumming or finger picking? Is it because you enjoy experimenting with different ways of playing to push the boundaries for yourself, discovering new things because you enjoy discovering new things, or are you doing it to show off? This can be applied to all areas of life, no matter the industry, hobby, career, activity in front of you. Let us remember that it's great to experiment and learn new things throughout life, and to do it for the right reason. We ought to do what's necessary first, and if time allows, go for the spice in life, as I like to call it. There has to be a balance of these things, otherwise we will not fulfill our daily responsibilities, whatever they may be. February 14th. The good thing about playing guitar is that once you've strapped it on, you can let your stomach out. Joe Brown. There are two ways to look at this, the literal and the metaphorical one. The literal. If you're trying to impress anyone with your physical attributes, then having a guitar in front of your stomach can hide the fact that you might not be in the best shape. You won't have to suck it in for a picture, let's say, anymore. The guitar sits in the way of blocking your stomach from protruding. The metaphorical. When playing guitar, and any other musical instrument for that matter, the ability to let loose and be free is ever present. It's inherent in the nature of musical instruments. When we are free from responsibilities, worries, stresses, anxieties, we're able to live more fully in the moment. This is akin to letting your hair down, or in this case, letting your stomach out. February 15th. Rock guitarists usually do not wish to think of trains of thought about anything but their own guitar playing during a long solo. John Frusciante. This should not only apply to guitar playing during a solo, but anything in life. For us to be successful in all situations or experiences in our careers, families, and relationships, in other words, life, we must channel our focus on the task at hand, whatever is presented to us. If we're thinking about whatever responsibility or action we have to do later on in the day, instead of focusing on the paper we have to write, feeding the baby that's crying, or playing this guitar solo, we will not only miss the mark of completing the task, but we will not do it to the best of our abilities and not be fully living in the present moment. The present moment is all we have, not the past, not the future, right now. So let us turn our attention to that. Right now, you are reading a passage in this book. Try to soak it in. Focus your attention on these words and these words only. February 16th. I like to be quiet and play guitar and just chill. Post Malone. I love this. I do the same thing on occasion. Post. There is something so peaceful, pure, and rejuvenating when it's just you and your guitar. Nothing else in the world matters except those 6 strings, your fingers, and hands. It's simple. It's allowing yourself to be still at one place and at one time without worrying about the past or future. It's being in the present moment, enjoying all the beauty this instrument has to offer. I like to think of it as a nice reset to the craziness of everyday life. There are no expectations, responsibilities, stresses, or anxieties when playing the guitar. It's there to be played and nothing else. It doesn't question your thoughts, motives, or emotions. In the sense, it is the best kind of friend one can have, since you can pick it up at any time and it will be there for you no matter what, with no judgment. February 17th. The guitar I now have is permanently out in my house, which my wife loves, but now my kids are interested in it. They definitely thought the old man was much cooler once I started playing again. Michael Bland, wife. There was something about playing the guitar that just makes whoever's playing it look cool. I don't know who, where, or when this first started, but it's one of those unwritten laws of the universe. The fact that as kids, and any child for that matter, can be inspired simply by seeing a parent do something fun that looks cool is one of the best examples we can provide to our children. It doesn't have to stop there. Maybe it's inspiring a sibling, a friend, or even a complete stranger. In doing so, we are creating a positive domino effect to positively impact the world. Music, and especially the guitar, for the win. February 18th. With a guitar, I would be able to express things I felt in sounds. William Christopher Handy. Couldn't have said it better myself, William. This is exactly what music is there for us. A mechanism, a tool for us to express ourselves in ways we are unable to do otherwise. Instead of just screaming or yelling or doing anything else destructive, we can take out the guitar and play out our frustration, creating music through the pain. The same can be said about cheering and celebrating the good things that happen in our lives. We can pick up a guitar and express our happiness and joy through it, creating music through the triumph. In my opinion, it is in our best interest to keep a guitar close by and pick it up as often as possible. It's been the best therapy and friend for me in my life. And I'm positive it will be there for you too. February 19th. The heavy guitars are the ones that sound good. They are not that comfortable, but they do sound great. Neil Schoen. This makes sense to me. Why? Due to the sheer fact that there is more weight and most likely more space inside of the instrument. It has more room and depth for the sound to resonate inside of it. It will inevitably have a deeper, more well-rounded overall sound than a guitar that is paper thin weight-wise. As Neil said, they might not be the most comfortable because of how heavy it is, but it will sound the best overall. February 20th. That's the correct old thing about the guitar. There's always more to learn. Jim Heath. You've got that right, Jim. Not only is this the case with the guitar, it's the case with every musical instrument as well as life in general. If we want to and are open to learning new things, we can continue to do this every day for the rest of our lives. In fact, I encourage you to do so because by learning new things, you might change your mind on what you thought to be true about a particular topic. You might discover something about yourself you never knew, a new path in life or skill or talent you never thought you had, etc. Plus, learning new things is a great way to become more well-versed in different areas, making it easier to involve yourself in wide-ranging conversations, and you just become a better overall version of yourself. So do yourself a favor and never stop learning. I'm of the school of thought that once you stop learning, you become stagnant and actually start dying. February 21st. Any guitar solo should reflect the music that it's soloing over, not just be existing in its own sort of little world. John Frusciante. I agree. If you are soloing just for the sake of soloing, but it doesn't make sense with the rest of the song, then it's not necessarily making the song better. It's showing off. If you're soloing to make the song sound the best it can because it's what fits and makes the most sense, then you're doing justice to the song. We owe it to the music to do what's best for the song and not what's best for our egos. February 22nd. The guitar is a meditative tool to touch God and find love within yourself. Pepe Romero. I absolutely love this quote. I do believe the guitar is a meditative tool, a wonderful string instrument that you can play in various ways to express yourself. I, for one, have been able to get totally lost in the music when playing this instrument where hours gone by feels like a few minutes. That is quite a meditation to say the least. In its inherent nature, the guitar is designed to play from the heart, to put up against your body, embracing it against your chest. This literal physical act is a physical act of love, embracing. Metaphorically speaking, the instrument fosters feelings of love as you play to someone else's heartstrings, pun intended. When we are fully in the moment with whatever it is we are doing at any given moment, nothing else matters except that thing or activity. The present moment is a gift, and when we are in the present moment, we are experiencing God. For the present moment is life, and that is the greatest gift from God besides eternity, which is also life. February 23rd. I smash guitars because I like them. Pete Townshend. While it may seem fun in a form of catharsis in the moment, I can't say I agree with this quote at all. It doesn't make any sense to smash a guitar under any circumstance, in my opinion, especially not because you like it. For me, a guitar is a sacred thing, an instrument that helps me express myself, a tool I use to create beauty and goodness, in a way to commune with the muse and connect with God. For someone to just willingly destroy them without taking any of this into consideration is not truly thinking the situation over. They're just acting on an impulse in a very self-centered way. Let us be mindful of the impact a musical instrument can and does have on every one of us, especially those who play it. Don't destroy beauty, create it. February 24th. I'm just a guitarist in a kick-ass rock and roll band. What more could I ask for? Eddie Van Halen. That's the right attitude, Eddie. In him saying this, he is acknowledging the fact that playing music for a living is a special, unique, rare thing he has the opportunity to do every day, and he doesn't take it for granted. To have this kind of realization as someone in a rock and roll band breaks all kinds of stereotypes about members of rock and roll bands. For example, it's all about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. For him, it's about expressing himself through music and knowing how fortunate he is to be able to do so. Many people would kill to be in his shoes, metaphorically speaking. So keep on doing your thing, Eddie. Shine your light and show the world what it means to be grateful for this great blessing and gift you have at your fingertips, literally. February 25th. Life is better when you're playing guitar. Anonymous. I agree. Life is just better when there's music in it, especially the guitar. It's no surprise that people use this quote, "You're pulling on my heartstrings" as well. Since a guitar has strings, it is direct play on words, pun intended, for life as it pertains to love. You literally embrace or hug the guitar when you play it as well, allowing the music to resonate through you as you play it. The guitar assists in helping you express yourself creatively as well as provide a sense of joy and happiness when others hear it. It's one of those instruments that instantly draws people in and intrigues them to want to hear more. For these reasons and so much more, life is better when you're playing the guitar. February 26th. So my big brother was playing guitar and I figured I'd try it too. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Sometimes all we need is a little inspiration or a healthy competition, if you will. Since Stevie was probably literally and metaphorically looking up to his big brother, there's a sense of wanting to be like that person. The same would go for someone who's looking up to their father, mentor, or older person they want to emulate. It's a perfectly natural human tendency. There is also a sense of saying to yourself, well, if he or she can do it, so can I. So it gives a person wanting to be like a certain someone else the confidence to want to try it out. To me, this is the best way to encourage and inspire other people, is by modeling the good behavior or the action for others to follow in your footsteps. Steve's older brother must have been a great role model for Stevie to want to be like him. And taking this one step further, I wonder if Stevie saw his brother doing it, wanted to be like him, and then wanted to become better at it than him. Healthy competition. This is a good thing if it moves you forward in a positive direction, building good habits in a way of being in the world. Whatever the case may be, Stevie, you did it. If there was ever a household name for virtuoso guitar playing, it is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Way to go. February 27th. My guitar is my torch. My soul carries the flame. Make no mistake, I'm a true bluesman. Big Bill Morganfield. What a cool visual. If your guitar is a torch, then your soul, your passion, your heart provides the flame that lights it up. In essence, this is not only what you play, but how you play it. The same can be said about life in that if life is a torch, your soul carries the flame. Do we live our lives boldly with passion, excitement, joy, and a yearning to become a better version of ourselves? If so, that's a great way to live. We owe it to ourselves to not only try our best, but to use our gifts to the best of our abilities to inspire others as well as the world around us. Let's all light up the torches we carry, guitar or not, each and every day. In doing so, we are literally letting our light shine, just like the lyrics in the song, This Little Light of Mine. February 28th. If there's a song where there's a possibility of guitar stuff that would be fun to listen to, go for it. Don't worry about what anybody thinks. Brad Paisley. I love this. In order to create something special, rare, unique, or whatever other adjective you want to insert here that describes a sentiment and memorable, you have to do what's best for the song and not care what anyone else thinks. In doing so, you are serving the song, which is what we are supposed to do as antennas for the muse, if you will. If we start to worry about what this person or that person might think or say about a particular part of a song, we are allowing external forces to dictate the writing process. This is a big no-no in my book. Bottom line is that if we do what's best for the song and for the song only, then we are doing justice to it and creating what needs to be created, not what others think we need to create.